afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and from behalf of our company, the Supreme Cruises, we would like to welcome you on board the Stella Maris. And together we are going to be cruising by two main harbors that we have on our island. One of them it is the Grand Harbor, and the other one it is Marsamxett Harbor, that it means a safe harbor. So first we are going to start from Marsamxett Harbor, and later on we are going to proceed to the Grand Harbor. We are going to visit all the creeks that we have in these two main harbors that we have on our island, and the commentary of the view. So for now, thank you for joining us, and enjoy yourselves.
Красота, час едем, все выпьем за наши деньги, ясно, Федь?
The earliest records regarding Manman Island, just ahead of us, date back to 1466 and state that it was leased to a Catalan nobleman living in Malta. The Order of St. John acquired the land in 1643 in order to build a lazzaretto, or quarantine hospital. Most of its bastions are carved out of solid rock, and beyond the gate is the main piazza with the surrounding barracks. Leading up to the beautiful Baroque gateway are some very low steps designed for the knights with their cumbersome suits of armour. These can also be found in our capital city, Valletta. The British use of boards throughout the architectural elements should be fully restored. Due to the great fear of disease, the knights built a hospital here, and for centuries the authorities enforced strict quarantine rules to all incoming visitors. Breaking them was punishable by hard labour, and sometimes even by death. The 23-metre wreck of a 1915 X-Mitre lies on the seabed close to the old hospital. And see the engine and bridge. Surrounding the wreck, divers can see hospital beds, wheelchairs and other objects. This makes it an interesting dive site, although visibility is not too good. It is worth noting that a number of distinguished visitors were obliged to spend time at this hospital before they were permitted to stay on the island. The Scottish novelist Sir Walter Scott stayed here. During his second visit to Malta in 1811, the English poet Lord Byron carved his name among the graffiti on one of the terraces of the hospital. Benjamin Disraeli, who eventually became Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, also spent time here. It was he who described Valletta as a city built by gentlemen for gentlemen. We are now cruising by the town of Tashbish on our right. The name is derived from the Arabic word shabik, which means fishing nets. Due to the often changeable and demanding conditions, this is a challenging race for both skippers and crew. Ted Turner, the American founder of the television network CNN, has described the event as the most beautiful racecourse in the world. The Turks. Priority was given to the fortifications surrounding the city, and according to records, it took just 5 years to build these walls. The black yacht coming up is the Black Pearl that once belonged to the famous actor Errol Flynn. It also features today it is a restaurant. On our right we can once again see Tashbish. This is one of Malta's prime sites for real estate. There are some impressive buildings of Victorian architecture, many embassies including the British built along this shoreline. Straight ahead of us is another town called Insuda, coming from the word Masida, which means fishing village. The University of the weather forecasts, ship-to-shore radio, etc. The parish church just ahead of us was built in the 19th century and is dedicated to St. Joseph. How due to urbanization, Tashfish, Imsida, and the next town of Pietà are right next to each other, and the boundaries are not very clear. By the armed forces of Malta. Besides other duties, they must ensure that no foreign fishing vessel enters Malta's territorial waters without the necessary permission. Once again on our right is the fortified town of Floriana, just outside our capital Valletta. Pietro Paolo Floriani was a military architect who designed this line of fortifications, and the area was referred to as Floriana. But the area is still referred to as Floriana. If you have already visited Valletta, you may have noticed this vast sandstone bridge just before city gate. The ditch was dug by slaves, and the stone was used in the building of the city. It was supposed to have been dug deeper and be flooded with seawater to further protect the city during times of siege, and also to form a convenient passageway between this harbour and the grid system, which allow cool breezes to enter and flow through the city during the stifling summer months. Systems were in place from the start to handle garbage. That is, it must be durable, useful, and beautiful. Three adjectives which certainly describe these fortifications. Over the military powers of the time: Spanish, Italian, French, and British. The result of this is one of the finest collections of military architecture in the world. Whichever way you look, the skyline is filled with church steeples and domes.
The story about Marsamship Harbour, so we are going to proceed to the Grand Harbour of Malta. So we are cruising by Valletta, and if you can look on our right hand side from this area, you can see the Maltese traditional balconies. But if I'm going to give you some information about this Grand Harbour. So this Grand Harbour, it was built by the Grand Master Valletta after the Great Siege against the Turks during the wars about 500 years ago. Especially the Turks, they came to attack to our Maltese island by the Gallic coast. But even during this cruise, you are going to see 3.5 kilometers of fortifications, some of them 55 meters above the sea level. Now we are going to visit our creek, the smallest creek in Ella, and the story is going to be about Fort Ricasoli to protect the British fleet from northwest and northeast gaze. So I would like to welcome you 400 meters wide. So as I said from the beginning, the commentary is going to be always on our right hand side, and you are going to hear 22 stories about the Grand Harbour of Malta.
With the carrack Santa Anna. This was the first ever armor-plated vessel and was under the command of Sir William Weston. Port St. Angelo was not a safe place to be. Foresailers and pirates ravaged coastal areas regularly, and from Malta was in the area. Before St. Angelo was their headquarters, palaces and stores were built in the area known as. The fortifications in the area were strengthened, and stores were filled with supplies. winter was quickly approaching. Supplies were getting dangerously low, but what really determined the outcome of this siege was the arrival of the long-awaited Catholic reinforcements. Victory for the Knights was declared on 8th February, ever fearful of a retaliation by the Ottoman Empire. To Vokrug. On 28th March 1566, La Valette led the solemn ceremony of laying the foundation stone of the city, which was to be named after him. The Knights left Vincent Central and Victoria's on your left, crossed the Grand Hall, and moved its built according to the design of Francesco Lavarelli, and included fortifications, watchtowers, and many of the major buildings in the city. Beautiful gardens were engineered, and just above the bastions, you will be able to see one such example. While the arches were built in 1661, the upper parochial gardens were built at a later stage for the recreation of the Italian knights.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're cruising by the water front of Valletta. So the ski that you can see on the way right there is the places of many cruise liners that they came to visit to our island. So the last season, they came more than 550 from this type of ships. But even as I told you, they identified which is type of sorry, it is by the colors. So even I'm going to give you some.
Another significant development at the time was the advent of steam engines at the beginning of the 19th century. Malta served as an important military station and a supply depot of foodstuffs and ammunition, as well as railway and wagon-based hospitals. Local papers carried the news of Florence Nightingale's stop in Valletta on her way to Scutari. There was a huge demand for mementos of Malta and Valletta harbour. Various artists, one being the Neapolitan artist Giovanni Morgelli, fulfilled this requirement by settling in Malta in 1868 and painting on various harbours and British ships.
Кайф какой. Я их по миллиметрам сняла. И поближе, и подальше. Даже учухала, как один мужик стоит, жопу чешет там. В лодке. Очень красивый. Кайф. Мы действительно с тобой по кирпичику всю Валетту знаем уже, да? Ой, это нам кофе несут. Кайф, я такая счастливая, все благодаря тебе. Ты б не вытащила, я б ничего этого не увидела.
So here, ladies and gentlemen, we are inside Marsa. And Marsa, that is coming from an Arabic word, it means safe port. So if you look at on the water, you can find Marsa Schlock or Marsa Scala. Think about those blue vessels. That is abundant nowadays. This factory is in the north of the island where there is the cross-ground village at Taali. I just export potatoes to other countries in Europe, like Germany. Even ladies and gentlemen, you can find a dismantled power station that it is not valid anymore. It's had for 60 years now, and the government decided to close it to build another one in the south of the island because this one it was worked by the Hadifia line. So the new power station that we have in Delmara's come behind the fisherman's village Massachusetts in the southeast of the island. So nowadays the new power station it is operated by the LPG. LPG is type of gas. If you can look more like inside, further inside, you are going to see a golden jelly dome. Then the other mosquito that will have on our island, that it is inside Paul as well. And our right hand side here, you can find one of the floating docks that will have on our island, that is operated by Benzina Company. On our right hand side here, you can find the Granadino Hill. So Granadino Hill it was used by the British during the Second World War to capture munitions over. It is in the southeast of the island of Massachusetts, the fisherman's village. Here, ladies and gentlemen, you can find a pumping station that in English we call it forward, and Maltese we call it the Rasman, or the two red bunker ships. So this is why there is this pumping station. Some waters have been industrial of tuna. You can find 4 companies. The companies that operate from Massachusetts Harbour in front of the breakwater. Even on the quay of Lavatory Wharf, we are going to see a scrap metal. So the scrap metals, they bring them over here from around the island, like cars and scrap cars or other objects, and a ship that is coming from the land that is worked from the Grand Harbour to Catania for the cargo, not for the passengers. So before it was the seawater, nowadays you can find the Grimaldi lines. On our right hand side here, even you can find the grain silo. So the grain silo, it was built in the 1975. It is the largest silo that we have in the Mediterranean Sea. It's accommodates about 95,000 facilities of this grain silo. Motor dry docks. So before it was the motor dry docks, nowadays you can find a company, Calumpo Company. It's an Italian guy from Naples. Because the government decides to rent a lot of docks in this area, one of them it is USA. And even we call him the Red China Dock. This because in the 1970s when the Prime Minister of Malta was Government it was bringing an agreement from China, and this dock it was built by the hand of Republic China. But if I'm going to give you some information how it works this dock. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to see that the dock too, especially to work on the draft of the ship. So when decide that the ship is finished from its maintenance, and they slowly they fill it up the dock, and after they take out this case that you can see behind of the ship or in front of the dock, and to understand well oil forget it till now that we have oil in Malta, so the oil rigs they are over here for maintenance as well.
Having very briefly traced the history of the Grand Harbour to the present day, we will now visit a number of creeks of great historical importance and get a better view of the 3 cities. Reference will be made to different periods in Malta's history. The Knights made this area their home for the first 41 years of their stay in Malta, and French merchants used to anchor in this creek, hence its name, French Creek. The area was converted into a naval dockyard during the British period. Today, Malta Shipyards Limited offers a substantial range of products. The facilities are spread over a number of locations. These yards offer ship repair and conversion and offshore yards. Today there are 7 dry docks, many of which are in this creek. Here one finds a dedicated covered dock and an area which services superyachts, known as Somerset Dock. A number of superyachts have chosen Malta as their base, attracted by the mild climate and advantageous location. One such example is the Maltese Falcon, a super yacht said to be the largest and fastest personal sailboat in the world. The magnificent three-masted vessel can occasionally we can see the first of what we call, during the Great Siege of 1565, the Turkish forces directed their attacks on Serbia. However, the Turks were unsuccessful in their attacks, and the town subsequently received the title of Civitas Inglita, the unconquered city. She watered the Grand Harbour when she was out on her first trials. The HMS Jersey sank and still lies on the seabed. HMS Illustrious was also bombarded in merchant ships carrying essential supplies were bombarded incessantly by Axis fighter planes, in 1942 reaching critical levels. Finally, the battered oil tanker Ohio entered the Grand Harbour. King George VI of Britain delivered this news to the parish priest as the procession with the statue of Our Lady of Victory was reached the Marina. Which when translated into English means, the air has eyes, and there ought to be all eyes and ears for what was taking place in our harbours. The name given to this next group by the knights was Dartmouth. Today this is known as Dartmouth Three Cities. We have the town of Sanglia and the fact that in 1670, owing to the fear of an Ottoman invasion, a long line of fortifications were built on the landward side to encircle all three cities, the nature of seafaring and its impact on society. Exhibits range from model ships to lavish ceremonial barges built for the Grand Masters. Trying between the slick yachts that berth in this marina, some on a brief visit, some on a longer stay. From a marina of galleons, warships and a dockyard, it has developed into a yacht marina merely for larger yachts. This is Vittoriosa. Now you'll find alberges, a hospital, churches, law courts, and other palaces which were built to meet the requirements of the night shore, is dedicated to St. Mary's, and was the conventional church used by the knights, prior to the building of to commemorate the termination of the military contract, which existed between Malta and the United States. With its views of the Grand Harbour and Marina, it is especially impressive at night. This day, it is the Casino di Venezia, one of Malta's casinos. Has always been an important site. It is traditionally held that the first settlers to the islands built temples in honor of their gods here. According to legend, this fort is built on the site of a fortified Roman settlement. Strengthened by the Arabs, the Normans and the Spaniards, Fort St. Angelo immediately became the headquarters of the Order of St. John. The castle was first referred to as Castro Maris. After considerable modifications over the years, it became known as Fort St. Angelo. In 1607, the army grew. On 6th October 1608, records show that he had been imprisoned in Fort St. Angelo, but it failed to do this. What is known is that he absconded from Malta and died in Porto April. This is served as the headquarters of the
So inside Carcara, loading, you can find some part-time fishermen that they operate from inside Carcara, and some traditional boats like this boat that the Maltese will call their boats. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can see a church with a
station would make a very suitable hospital for the British Navy. And eventually, in 1832, it became Bailey Hospital. During World War I, some 50,000 injured soldiers were treated at this hospital. Mediterranean. It functioned as a hospital until 1970. Today,